But look, before I begin, I want to say a few words about an important anniversary that we mark tomorrow. 2 years ago, shortly before dawn, Russian troops marched across the border in Ukraine. And Putin believed he could easily bend the will and break the resolve of the free people of Ukraine, that he could roll into Ukraine and he would roll over them. 2 years later, he remains wrong. He didn't do that. He wasn't able to do that. Kyiv is still standing. Ukraine is still free. And the people of Ukraine remain unbowed and unbroken in the face of Putin's vigorous onslaught. This is due to their sheer bravery and their sacrifice, but it's also due to us. Remember, the United States pulled together a coalition of more than 50 nations to support Ukraine. We unified and expanded NATO. We can't walk away now. And that's what Putin is betting on. He's betting on we're going to walk away. That's why I'll be speaking to the G7 folks, so some of the heads of the European Union and NATO today. That's why I'm announcing more.
Welcome to the American Report. In today's in-depth analysis, we delve into the pivotal role House Speaker Mike Johnson is playing in deciding the fate of Ukraine. The unfolding crisis, the delicate balance of domestic politics, and the international implications create a complex dilemma for Speaker Johnson. Let's explore the intricacies of this situation. Number 1. Setting the stage. 2 years after Russian President Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, the country finds itself at a critical juncture. The soldiers on the front lines are facing a scarcity of essential resources, and there are ominous signs that Russia might shift the balance of the war in its favor. The urgency for aid is evident, with a proposed $60 billion bill awaiting a vote in the House that could significantly impact Ukraine's ability to resist Russian forces. Number 2. The Reluctant Leader. Despite the urgency of the situation, Speaker Mike Johnson's reluctance to bring the aid bill to a vote has become a focal point. A backbencher who rose to lead the House GOP majority last year, Johnson is facing a political landscape transformed by the influence of former President Donald Trump. The shift towards nationalism, populism, and isolationism within the GOP poses a considerable challenge for Johnson, as supporting the aid package could jeopardize his political standing. Number 3. Domestic pressures. Speaker Johnson is not just contending with international pressures, he is also facing domestic challenges. With an impending budget deadline, the government is on the brink of a partial shutdown by the weekend. Johnson's precarious position is exacerbated by opposition within his own party, especially from the pro-Trump wing, making his speakership vulnerable. The delicate balance he must maintain highlights the challenges of leading a divided House. Number 4. The White House meeting. A critical juncture in Johnson's dilemma is a scheduled meeting at the White House with President Joe Biden and other congressional leaders. The pressure on him to act decisively in favor of Ukraine will be intense, as highlighted by Biden's National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. The consequences of Johnson's decision are underscored, a potential government shutdown and the fate of Ukraine hanging in the balance. Number 5. International perspectives. Beyond domestic challenges, Speaker Johnson is under scrutiny from international allies and adversaries. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's plea for aid underscores the global implications of the decision. Pressure from British Foreign Secretary David Cameron, and warnings about the credibility of the United States abroad intensify the stakes for Johnson. Number 6. Trump's influence. Former President Trump's stance on the aid package adds another layer of complexity to Johnson's decision-making process. Trump's focus on border security and skepticism about sending aid to Ukraine further complicates Johnson's position. The potential impact on the southern border crisis becomes a negotiating point, revealing the interconnectedness of various issues in the current political landscape. Number 7. The road ahead. As Speaker Johnson grapples with the monumental decision before him, the international community is watching closely. The potential outcomes based on Johnson's decision are wide-ranging, from the consequences for Ukraine to the impact on NATO and the broader implications for American global leadership. The decision has profound implications not only for Johnson's political future but also for the United States' role on the world stage. Number 8. The dilemma deepens. Speaker Johnson's dilemma deepens as he finds himself outnumbered in the Oval Office during the meeting with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Senate Republican Leader Mitch McConnell, and Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer. The bipartisan support for the aid package is emphasized, with Biden's national security advisor highlighting the decisive role Johnson plays in determining the fate of the bill. Number 9. The Republican divide. The internal divide within the Republican Party is a critical aspect of Johnson's predicament. The reluctance of some Republicans, particularly those aligned with Trump's ideology, to support the aid package reflects a broader shift in the party's priorities. The America First stance clashes with the notion of providing substantial aid to a foreign nation, creating internal tensions that Johnson must navigate skillfully. Number 10. Global consequences. The global consequences of Johnson's decision are multifaceted. As Ukrainian President Zelensky desperately seeks support, Johnson's choices resonate far beyond national borders. British Foreign Secretary David Cameron's advocacy for the aid package underscores the interconnectedness of global alliances. The credibility of the United States is at stake, with warnings of catastrophic blows to its prestige and power abroad if the package isn't passed. Number 11. Trump's shadow. Former President Trump's shadow looms large over Johnson's decision. His past dealings with Ukraine, the impeachment proceedings, and his current stance create a complex backdrop. Trump's influence within the GOP, especially among the pro-Trump wing, further complicates Johnson's ability to navigate these treacherous waters. The potential repercussions of crossing Trump are significant, both for Johnson's political career and the cohesion of the Republican Party. Number 12. The border security conundrum. The ongoing debate about border security adds another layer to Johnson's dilemma. House GOP leaders maintain that there can be no aid for Ukraine without a robust effort to secure America's border. This messaging, while resonating with certain segments of the party, also introduces a challenging negotiation point. The intertwining of disparate issues underscores the intricate dance Johnson must perform to secure support for the aid package. Number 13. International lobbying. The pressure on Johnson extends beyond the domestic sphere. Ukrainian President Zelensky's desperate plea is coupled with intense lobbying efforts from key allies like British Foreign Secretary David Cameron and warnings from other friends of the United States. The fate of Ukraine is not only a matter of geopolitics, but also a litmus test for the credibility and reliability of the United States as a global partner. Number 14. The broader implications. As Johnson grapples with the political tightrope, the broader implications of his decision come into focus. The fate of Ukraine, the stability of global alliances, and the perception of U.S. leadership hang in the balance. The interconnectedness of domestic politics and international relations becomes a defining feature of Johnson's speakership, with potential ramifications that extend far beyond his immediate political future. Number 15. The clock is ticking. The urgency of the situation is palpable. Ukrainian and U.S. officials warn that a scarcity of ammunition is causing losses on the battlefield, and time is of the essence. If Ukraine faces a series of defeats and Putin's forces advance, Johnson and his Republican majority could be held responsible for a crisis that not only threatens NATO, but also increases the likelihood of American troops getting involved in the hostilities. Number 16. The international community watches. As events unfold, the international community watches Johnson's every move. His decision will send a signal to U.S. adversaries and allies alike, shaping the perception of American reliability and commitment. Democratic Representative Seth Moulton emphasizes the global significance of Johnson's decision, with allies in Asia closely monitoring the outcome, as it could influence the stance of U.S. adversaries like Xi Jinping in China. Conclusion. In conclusion, Speaker Mike Johnson faces a defining moment in his political career and, perhaps, in the trajectory of U.S. foreign policy. The complexities of domestic politics, the shadow of Trump, and the intricate dance between various issues make this decision particularly challenging. The fate of Ukraine hangs in the balance, and the repercussions of Johnson's choice will reverberate on the global stage. Join us next time on The American Report, as we continue to unravel the unfolding developments surrounding House Speaker Mike Johnson's crucial decision on Ukraine. Like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates. Thank you for tuning in.